So day 4, we are working on our pelvis, whether you have a posterior or anterior pelvic tilt. And day 1's video, part 1 video, helped you determine which one you have. And now we are going to worked through the movement, how you move through your posterior and anterior, and how important it is to make sure that you're moving through it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stretch. So you may have found that some areas are what I like to say sticky. You might not be able to move into those positions as much. So we're going to start working on releasing some tension areas to see if we can get more of a response from our pelvis when we do that. The 2 areas that we are going to focus on are our piriformis, which is in our low back, and the psoas, which is a hip flexor that is attached to our spine. The first one that we are going to do is a piriformis stretch. So if you have a foam roller, you can grab it. And you're going to sit on the foam roller, and it's a figure 4 stretch. A figure 4 stretch is a really great one to do to stretch into that piriformis, stretch out that piriformis. So we're going to bring our leg across here, and I like to tilt just a little bit so I can get deep into it. So you'll see, hopefully you can see here, actually I may drop this down just a teeny bit for you so you can see. All right, so here I'm tilted just slightly, and I'm dropping into that area. So it's like this lower glute area here. And I would recommend, because depending on how you feel, will depend on what you want to do. So some people might want to go up a little bit higher, and you might want to go a little bit lower. The key here is to listen to your body and listen to if you feel some tension, tight knots, sit into that area and just breathe. Just breathe through that area. So I usually like to find that spot of tension. Breathe, take deep cleansing breaths, practice that back body breathing while you're doing it. Breathe into that area, and then I like to roll it just a little bit. I'm not going all crazy. It's a little movement. Roll into that area, and then I will sometimes move back and forth into that area as well to see if that helps. And then go back and sit on it and see, did that help release that tension area? Now, if you don't have a foam roller, you can still do something similar. You're going to be down on the floor. Now, here's the key. There's a few ways you can do a figure 4 stretch. If you just want to work on the figure 4, you may be good to come down here and lay down and go here. Now, depending on how you feel, this might be enough for you. If you have a little ball, you can use a little ball, like a tennis ball, nothing really hard. I'm sorry, I don't have a ball right now, but I'm going to show you real quick with a balled up paper towel. Don't use a balled up paper towel like I'm using. I'm just showing you for the I didn't grab a tennis ball. Okay, so we're here. We're going to take that tennis ball, something soft. I am not going to smash into it, okay? I'm going to have my ball here, and I'm just going to kind of lean in and just see if I can find any tension points. And you might want to move around a little bit. I think every time I go to do a video, it starts raining outside. So if you hear the background rain, that's what it is, or the background noises. So that is another one that you can do with hopefully something a little bit harder than a paper towel. And then the next one that you're going to do, or Another one that you can do if you are able to. I like this one a little bit more than laying down, but if you struggle to get out of this posterior position, then go down to the floor, okay? So this rounded, if you struggle with this, lay on the floor to get that figure 4. If you can move into more of an anterior pelvic tilt, lifting up, pressing those sits bones down, this is a great one. You do not even need a tennis ball. You can kind of just drop into it and use that floor to find any kind of tension spots. Oh, I just saw a ball. I'll grab that. If you have a ball, you can use that on that area as well. Just go right back here and see if you notice any difference. Okay? So that is a pure form of stretch. The next thing we're going to do is a psoas stretch. I want you doing both of these, and then I'm going to have you test something here at the end. So the next one is a psoas stretch. The first option is going to be an easier option for you, depending on the tension that you're dealing with. So from here, we're going to lay one leg nice and straight. We're going to pull one hand at a time. When you do this movement, it hopefully will pull you into a neutral position with your pelvis. If you feel like your thigh is lifting up off the mat, that's your body trying to tuck you into an anterior pelvic tilt. No, I'm sorry, a posterior pelvic tilt. So you better work on trying to press through that heel, get some length there, and relax. And you can do both sides for that stretch. So I try to press through my heel to get some length into my leg and stretch. The other one that we're going to do for the psoas is we're going to be up, and this is one that a lot of people make mistakes on, and it's because they see other people doing it and they think that they're going for length and reaching. I'll show you. But we don't want to do what we're seeing a lot. An incredible thunderstorm that we just had. I had to take it inside. So the second part of this has to do with releasing the psoas. So when you are up here doing this exercise, a lot of people will extend forward and stretch into their low back, okay? What this tends to do is it does stretch this front, it does kind of stretch the psoas. The problem is you're creating this, it kind of creates this tightening to where it's lengthening, but it's holding on, okay? Because the psoas attaches to the low back. So we want to work on stretching it more effectively. So here, we're going to go into this bent 90-90 position. Let me show you a couple of things you need to be paying attention to in this position. So the first thing you need to pay attention to is not walking the tightrope, okay? We need to have a stance where we feel comfortable. We're not going to fall over or anything. The second thing we need to do is pay attention to our hips. So if you look, if I put my fingers on my hips, what do I see? So this is a natural stance I love to go into. This hip is higher than this hip. So what can I do? Take my hand, place it on my bottom, and bring my booty to my bottom. Okay? So that is going to bring me straight across. Much better. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze my glute up and underneath me. I'll show you right here. So I drop my hip, bring my booty more to the bottom of my hand, and I'm going to squeeze right here. I'm going to feel that lengthen down the front of my leg. So you can hold it here. If you want to, I'm going to give you two options based on your comfort level. So for some of you, you have this mobility within your shoulder where you can place your hand and pat your back without dropping your your chin over. So if that's the case, oh goodness, we'll do that, and then you're just going to reach over slightly. If that's too much for you, if you don't have this mobility and you tend to crouch when you get in this position, you can bring your arm up overhead and reach as well. Trying to keep this hip down, so that hip might try to rise up again. Press through that heel, try to fire on that hamstring. And you will feel that so much more, okay? So those are the exercises I want you to practice today. They're stretches. They're great for releasing piriformis and psoas. Let me know which one's your favorite, which one do you like. And if you had any kind of complications or anything that was uncomfortable, feel free to let me know. I'd love to be able to help you work through these exercises and stretches a little bit more.